If you have a chronic lower back pain, just do your core training and do your glute training, and you will be just fine. Not only I heard that from my personal physical therapist, but also I've heard this from more than 500 plus my personal client as well. And what if I tell you this? I get out of my back pain without training my core and without training my glute at all. Okay, so basically in this video, I'm going to walk you through my journey, my sub process about when you should be considering doing core training, when this is probably not going to be matter to you, and the sub process about how to pick and choose what to do in your journey. So that way you can have this framework in your mind and you can use it to implement into your own journey right away. So I want to start with my journey real quick because most of you know that I have this lower back pain starting from 2014 after playing basketball. And I'm that type of guy where I'm super committed. Now, if you tell me to do one thing, tell me to do this rehab to get out of my back pain, I'm the guy that gonna go for extra mile. If you tell me to do core training, glute training, not only I'm gonna do that, but also I'm gonna do it at a really high intensity as well. I'm really gonna do it, and I'm gonna do like harder than you think. So I'm just that type of guy. Um, so one moment about 2018 into my journey, I talk about this a lot. I work at a third physical therapist office, feeling absolutely defeated. I feel pissed because nobody were listening to me. They're not listening. They don't understand what I'm going through. I tell them, hey, I don't think I have a weak core and weak glute. I mean, I almost had a six packs that time. I can bench press 300 pounds and I can deadlift right around I think 425. I don't think I have a weak core or weak glute at all. And well, more than that, I've been training core, doing planks, doing glute bridges for the past 3 years straight. And I always go for extra mile when I do this. I just genuinely don't think I need to do more core training and glute training at all. But at the time, I still have this 7 out of 10 lower back pain. I feel so frustrated. I feel nobody understand what's really going on. Nobody understand me. Doesn't matter how many times I explain to them, hey, I don't think I have this. But I genuinely think they're good people. They're trying to help, but they just don't get me. I always go to extra mile when I do all those training. So what the heck do I still have this pain? It doesn't really make sense. And then about 5 years after that, um, so the moment I remember the most is um, when I tried to propose to my girl and I couldn't get up out of my knees. And at that moment just really hit me because I have no idea what I'm gonna do for my life. Yeah, not 5 years, maybe 2 3 years after that. No idea what to do with my life. That was in my late 20s, and if I'm feeling this right now, like I have no idea what am I gonna feel in the futures. So at that time, I just decided, okay, I'm not gonna do this anymore. I'm going to study my body, master my body, know exactly what went wrong, and then I'm going to figure this out. And then little by little, things start to change. So instead of focus on core trainings, I did a lot of nervous system reset. I did a lot of asymmetrical training, out of imbalance training, out of a movement training, and then little by little, things start to change. My pain level went from 7 out of 10 to about 2 3 out of 10, and then to about 1 out of 10 within just 8 months alone. And now I can play sports, do whatever I want to do. I can play golf 18 holes. I can weight train in the same day. I can walk 12K step. That's all on the same day with no problem whatsoever. And I don't train my core at all. So basically, what is my biggest takeaway from the journey I have is stop so zoom in on the one particular area, maybe your core, maybe your lower back, and start looking at a whole pictures. There's absolutely a place where I think core training can be useful, maybe for some 60 years old ladies or other population. But for me, I'm somebody who been weight training my whole life, and I'm pretty slick my whole life as well. There's no way that I have a weak core and a weak glute. So but here's the thing though, I just don't know how to fire them up properly because they're in the wrong position for a long period of time. So they're not necessarily weak, they're just in the wrong position for a long period of time. So you might feel weak. So the example I will give you is like, think about this, right? You're trying to make a fist. You're gonna feel pretty strong this way, right? But what if you're doing it this way? You're gonna feel a lot weaker. Now, it doesn't mean the muscle here are weak just because you're in the wrong position for a long period of time. And same thing with your core and with your lower back as well. You don't have to make it stronger. You just gotta make sure you're in the wrong position so you can use all those muscle correctly. And that's the first lessons. Now, I think the second lesson is, now what I always tell my client is, don't try to make your body stronger right away. And that's one of the biggest mistakes I've made as well. I always go for extra mile. I always try to make my body stronger when I'm not even moving correctly, right? That's the thing. You can't make your body stronger when the foundation layer is not stable. I want to say this one more time. You don't want to make sure you do all those core training, all those glute training trying to make your body stronger when the foundational layer is not stable yet, meaning you're not moving correctly yet. So if you're trying to make your body stronger on top of that, well, guess what? You are just reinforcing your dysfunction. So the layer I always talk about here is what I think. Again, I don't want to give you any specific exercise because everybody going to be completely different, and giving you exercise that might work for you and that might not work for you, but the whole framework is exactly the same. So you want to make sure, all right, you have a pretty good foundation. So which means the nervous system are pretty good. So your body can actually adapt to it. You don't have all those imbalances throughout your body. So you're moving correctly. Now, once you have the right movement pattern, all right, this is where we need to train how to hinge, how to squat, how to vary the body weight from side to side, how to shift your body weight from side to side. Now, once you can do that, and then on top of that, you can be bury more weight than just your body weight. And then once you can get used to that, all right, this is where we're gonna get into a more athletic training, so more explosive exercise. All right, so that's a framework I want you to think about whenever you go through this journey. So imagine that you don't have to do all those stretches, all those core training, all those glute training, trying to make your body stronger so you can, strengthen your way out of this pain. What if you just make sure your foundational layers are good? And then, make sure your movement patterns are good. And then after that, no imbalance, make your body stronger, athletic output. What if you can just do the right thing in the right order and don't rush yourself over this, right? Everything gonna be so much easier. Right now, you feel like, okay, this is no way out because you're trying to get to level 5 when level 1 is not there yet, right? So, yeah, this is just one of those things. And I think if you're like me, like somebody who want to push hard, want to do hard things, want to go for extra mile, right? Now, this got to be your mentality. And I want to tell you, it's the opposite we're looking for. You got to do the right thing in the right order, in the right sequence. And now I want to say one more thing is, if you like me, you probably don't have a weak core or weak glute anyway. You probably don't even need to do that. But what you need to do is you want to make sure you have the right movement pattern, and then you want to train to reinforce the right movement pattern, and that probably doesn't even include training your glute or training your core at all. So that's just a lesson I really want to share. I wish everybody just to get out of this as soon as possible, but make sure you want to do this in the right order, in the right sequence as well. You absolutely don't want to go for extra mile, especially you want to go for the level 5 when level 1 is not even stable yet. All right, really hope this one helped, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.